Now it should be. There we go. All right, so here's your list today for dividing decimals. Again, it's going to be on the stream.
Uh, can you turn down the music?
Yes, that's what's doing it right now. I heard that. I can already hear Matthew in the background. So here in the stream dividing decimals, like I was showing you earlier, all you're going to do for me today for your homework is just two things for me. And this, where it says daily work, this is what you guys have to do every single day. Even though I may not say it during math classes, these have to be done every day. We got to get onto reflex and get the green light. At least every day we got to get the green light. And then for imagine math, every day at least pass one lesson on imagine math. So where it says daily work, that's what you mean. That's what I mean, has to be done every day. Some of you are doing really good in imagine math, like Jacob, Eli. You guys are by far ahead of mostly everybody else. So keep up the good work. Um, we'll be sure to catch up also if you're not there yet. Where it says dividing decimals, here's what's due for me today. And I'm going to show you. And it's going to look a little bit different. Let me see if I can log in as a student. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. So here on Savas, here's what you have. You have a playlist here on dividing decimals. Okay. Um, all of this is not due to tomorrow, tonight. So don't think like, man, he wants us to do all that stuff. No. So all dividing decimals is the first page is just a review, and you're always going to get this asked, English or Spanish. So always click on English, obviously, right? So number one is just a simple little review. Okay. Um, rather than me showing you all the stuff here, this is what's due for me today. Number two. So it's assignment number two. All it is just a video. It teaches how to draw and how to use dividing decimals. And then on number two, when you go to the next page here on the bottom, this is all you do. I don't want you to do this. You do not have to use compatible numbers or estimate. All I simply want you to do is get this number 5 and 68 hundredths divided by 8, and then you just give me your answer. That's it. That's all I want you to do. So you're just going to watch the video and then answer this question right here. Just divide that, and that's it. By the end of the day, when you leave, you'll know how to do this. And it's super easy. All you got to do is just do that, and that's it. You just divide the numbers regularly. That's it. Nothing else changes. But we'll go over this today. And that's all your work that you got to do for me today. Just be sure you get onto reflex, get that green light, imagine math, pass one lesson, and then divide decimals. Let me go ahead and show you again. Divide decimals, and it's only number two. Don't worry about 1, 3, 4, and 5. Just number two. That's it. And don't click send the teacher yet, because all of this you're gonna send to
So
me by
with
Thursday.
ours, it's just the teacher view. Like, is that what you're saying, or
Hmm.
is it?
You guys should see these. So like, um, this is the one you guys have from Hispania, I'm assuming. If you did not turn in your test, yes, last week, which we have Leo, Isis, Gia, you guys didn't turn in your 5-question test last week, so you'll still see this. I that should have been turned in a long time ago. Um, but you should just have this dividing decimals, and it's only number two. Only number two. That's for homework today. Okay, guys, and that is about it. So here's what we're gonna do right now. Right now, we're gonna go to Clever. So go right here to Clever, and we're gonna go on to Reflex for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna put my timer up here for 15 minutes. So we're gonna do a little head start. So go right here to Clever, log on to Reflex where it says Reflex Pilot. And once you're there onto Reflex, in the chat box, I want you to, yes. I can't hear you, so your best bet's to probably put it into the chat box. So once you guys already signed into Reflex, type in so that way I know that you're there already. Oh, my screen's frozen.
Sir.
Yeah. The screen is the screen the whole time.
Sir.
Okay. So let me show it again just in case some people didn't get to see it because they said my screen was
Sir.
frozen.
I got 27.1% fluent.
That's good. We got to keep moving on up. So for right now, everyone go here to where it says Clever and be sure we sign up to Reflex. I'm going to, and then be sure you guys type in once you're there onto Reflex. In the chat box, type in. So I know that you already signed in to Reflex. So you're going to have 15 minutes starting right now. So right now, everyone should be on Reflex right now. So again, right now, everyone should be onto Reflex. And while you guys are doing that, and then after we're done with Reflex, we're gonna go ahead and do dividing decimals. And then we'll talk about your math CBA. That's gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're gonna take our first math CBA. Every day, you guys need to be going on to Reflex because this isn't good. This helps us with our basic facts, and it shouldn't take you long to get your green light. So right now, if you're on Reflex and you did not get your green light, be sure you get that later on today, your green light. As a group, this is what I'll see as a group. So it needs to be updated, and it's going to update right now. But again, whenever I see these green dots, that tells me the day you signed on, and it told me that, okay, this kid got the green light. Now, if I see a blue dot, that tells me that you went on, but you didn't get your green light yet. So like I should be able to see like a whole bunch of little dots, like, and then when it says 100%, that's how much facts you're fluent in, how many you know pretty well. And here's Jacob's right there. So we need to get that number increased big time. You see how some of us are still, we have no dots. Um, you know, that's not good. So we got to up our usage on here. So that's why I'm telling you every day, you guys got to be sure you're going on to Reflex. All right, so let's go ahead and do dividing decimals. So let's go ahead and take out our notes. So let's go ahead and work on dividing some decimals. So in your notebooks, this is example 1. We're gonna go ahead and practice with a number like this, 35 and 5/10. 35 and 5/10 divided by 5. I'll give you guys some time to write that down. Be sure that everyone's camera should be on right now as well. So please be sure your cameras are on, please, or close the circuits. So just to refresh your memory, remember in the first 6 weeks we were doing division, we had a little saying, dribble my super basketball carefully. What that means is divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then we check our work. Those are the steps for division. Dribble my super basketball carefully. And remember that if you don't know your basic facts, you can make your dominoes. In case you forgot what dominoes are, you look at the number outside of the house, or we call this number here, we call it the divisor. You don't have to write this word down, but it's good to know. And over here, we call this the dividend, the number being divided into. So I look at my divisor and it's 5. So when I make my dominoes, I'm going to make my dominoes of 5. So here's 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And this is how you use the dots in case you forgot how to use the dots. So if I don't know what 5 times 3 is, I would say 10 and I would add these dots, which is 5. 10 plus 5, and that's 15. That's 5. That's a 4, by the way. If I don't know what 5 times 4 is, I just start at 15 and I just add the dots 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then 5 times 5 is 25. You can stop there, and then if we need more dominoes, we'll add more dominoes. I'll give you guys some time to copy that down. Okay, so now here's how we divide again. This is the only thing that's different when you divide decimals. All you got to do is just shoot this little decimal point up right there. That's it. That's the only thing that's different when you divide decimals. Just move the decimal point up, and that's it. You're good. So pretend in your mind it's 355 divided by 5. That's what you got to pretend. So ignore the decimal point that's there. So I'll go ahead and erase it so it can be easier. So you see? The decimal point's there, and you got to remember where it's going to be at because it's very important. All right, so here, 3 divided by 5. Well, first off, 3 is smaller than 5, right, guys? So you can't do it. It's like when you subtract. Can I subtract this? 3 minus 5. Can I do this? No, right? We can't do it. So it's the same thing in division. If the number inside is smaller than the number outside, you can't do it. You have to borrow. This is how you do it. You just put a 0 on top and then you slide down. So now you're looking at 35. Is 35 bigger than 5? Yes. So now you can do that. So now you got to look at your dominoes and you try to find a number that's closest to 35. The biggest number we have is 25. So let me add some more. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 7, 35. Now I got 35. Let me add one more. Here's 5 times 8. And that's 40. So remember that what I told you about the Goldilocks and the 3 bears? How one's too big, one's too small, but one is just right. So in division, you want to find the one that's just right. Not too big, not too small. 30 is too small. 40 is too big. 35 is just right. So I'm going to put a triangle on the 7 and put it on the roof. As soon as I did that, I just divided. Check. Now I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply 7 times 5, which is 35. Or my answer is right here. Check. Then I subtract. That's my next step. Subtract. 5 minus 5, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. I subtracted. Check. Let me bring down the 5. So now here's my new division problem. 5 divided by 5. In other words, what number times 5 can equal 5? Right here. 1. I put a 1 on the roof. I just divided. Check. Now I'm going to multiply. I'm only going to multiply the number 1 in black. 1 times 5, here's my answer, 5. Then we subtract 5 minus 5, 0. There's nothing left to bring down. We're done. We're done right here. Now we need to check our work. So whenever you want to check your work in division, you do the opposite. The opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply 7.1 times 5. And again, this is how we check our work. We're going to get 7.1 times 5. So remember, we're also practicing our multiplying division, our multiplying decimal numbers. Sorry, we're multiplying decimals. If I get my answer 35 and 5/10 like this, then I did it right. So then we multiply 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 7, 35. Now for your decimal point, I move it back here. So that means over here, it's to the front. There's my answer. And you see how it matches over here? So we did our division correctly. Our quotient, which means answer for division. Our quotient is 7 1/10. Questions, comments?
No, sir.
You see, it's exactly the same like we did with the other ones. Here's number 2. Here's our second example that we'll do. So we have 7 and 83/100 divided by 3. Let me go ahead and write my checklist again. Dribble my super basketball carefully. Here's my dominoes. What number am I going to make my dominoes of, guys?
3.
Yeah, I look at the number outside of the house. Remember, this is your division house. And then the number outside is 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw 3 big dots there. And I'm going to list my multiples. I'm going to list my basic facts all the way to 3 times 5. At 3 times 5, I'm going to stop. If I need to add more, then I'll add more as I go. But for right now, I'm going to stop at 3 times 5. So I'll do 3 times 1. That's 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3, I have 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 times 4, I have 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 3 times 5 is 15. I'll stop there. If I need to add more, I'll add more as I go. Okay. So then I underline the 7. Now first, is the 7 bigger or smaller than the 3?
Bigger.
It's bigger, so I can do it. I don't have to borrow like I did the last one. So what I need to figure out first is what number times 3 can give me 7? Oh, and I forgot. Sorry. Let's rewind. Already get your decimal and shoot it up. Woof. Put a little rocket ship behind him and whoop. Put them up. Put your decimal point already there. There. That's it. Now let's go back to the 7. I need to find a number closest to 7. So 3 times what can give me 7? I need to look here. This is where I'm looking. Right here. So which of these could get me as close to 7? I don't want nothing bigger, nothing small. I want one that's just right. So what do you guys think?
2.
3 times 2. That's what Jacob's telling me. Would 3 times 1 work? Why not, Jacob?
No, because it's way too small.
Yeah, thank you, Zach and Jacob. It's too small. Can someone tell me how come 3 times 3 won't work? How come the 9 doesn't work?
Because it's too big.
Yeah, it's too big. You can't use it. So that's why the 6 is perfect. So I put a triangle on the 2, put it on the roof. You just divide it. Check. Now your next step, you got to multiply. You multiply 2 times 3, and you got 6. You're done. Now you're going to subtract. You're going to subtract 7 minus 6, and that's going to give you 1. Now bring down the 8. So here's your new division problem. Your new division problem is 18 divided by 3. So you want to find a number right here in your basic facts. Which of these can get you as close to 18? Well, the biggest number we have is 15. So we need to add more dominoes. If I add 3 times 6, that gives me 18. If I do 3 times 7, that gives me 21. I can't do 21 because it's too big. I can't do 15 because it's too small. This is going to work. That's perfect. So the 6 will go on the roof. I just divided. Check. Let me put a check mark on bring down. Now you multiply. So you're going to multiply the 6 in green times the 3. 6 times 3, 18. Now we're going to subtract. 18 minus 18, 0.
0.
Now you got to bring down the 3. So you bring down the 3 at the last right here. And here's your new division problem. And put a check mark on bring down. 3 divided by 3. So you want to ask yourself, what number times 3 can equal 3? It's right here.
1.
The 1. So I put the 1 on the roof. I just divided. Check. Now you got to multiply. 1 times 3, 3. And then you subtract. 3 minus 3, 0. There's nothing left to bring down. Now you're done. So far, this is our quotient. Our quotient is 2 and 61/100. That's our quotient. So now we got to check our work. And the way we check our work is we multiply. So let's get 2 and 61/100 times 3. Now, if we did it right, our answer should be this. If we did it right, our answer should be 7 and 83/100 if we divide it correctly. If it doesn't come out to that, that means we need to go back and check because we did something wrong. So here, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 6, 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Now, your decimal point, remember when you multiply decimals, you got to move it back and then you move it front. This is what I mean. I jump 1 space, 2 spaces back. Now the decimal point's here. Now move it to the front. If you went 2 spaces back, now move it 2 spaces to the front. 1, 2. There's our answer. And you see how this matches this? So we did our division correctly. We didn't make any mistakes. We got the same answers in the house. So this is our quotient. We got it right. 2 and 61/100.
Sir, can you give us harder ones?
Yeah, there you got one next. Now you guys are going to have one here. So this one, you're going to do this on your own and put in the chat box. I'll give you, what do you say, 3 minutes?
2 minutes.
Fair enough. If you get it done in 2
1
minutes, if you get it done in 2 minutes and it's correct, you'll get 5 dojo points, MVP points. If you turn in your answer before 3 minutes and it's correct, you'll get 3 dojo points. We'll do it like that. So here we go. Let me
1 minute.
Oh, I don't know about all that, Jacob. Let's calm down, crazy guy. How about this? Here's this one. 4 and 56 hundredths divided by 6. Go ahead and solve that one. Put your answer in the chat box once you're done. Remember, dribble my super basketball carefully. And remember to do your dominoes. Remember your dominoes are going to be of 6. So you should have 6 dots here, starting at 6 times 1. So I'll give you guys time. So here we go. Zach is saying it's too easy. Maybe. So right here, the first thing you should do, just move your decimal point up. All right, guys, shoot it up. And then what I'm going to do now to make it easier for me is I'm going to erase it. I'm going to erase this part. So my decimal point's already there. That's the only tricky part. Just put your decimal point up in the right spot. Now, look, it's 456 divided by 6. I can do that. Let me finish my dominoes here. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. So really quick, 4, is it bigger or smaller than the 6? It's smaller. Again, remember, we can't do it. It's like us trying to subtract. We can't do 4 minus 6. That's impossible. So that's why I tell you, if it's bigger or smaller first, because if it's smaller, you can't do it. So we put a 0. We need to borrow. We come over here. Now we're looking at 45. The biggest number I have in my dominoes is 30. So I do 6 times 6, which is 36. I'm still not close to 45 yet. 6 times 7 is 42. I'm closer, but not to where I want to be. If I do 6 times 8, that's 48. And whoa, that's already too big. So I can't do 48. That's too big. 36, too small. This one is just right. So I put a triangle on the 7 right there. I just divided. Check. Now you multiply. And then for my satellite dish, 7 times 6 is 42. I already multiplied. Next, subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus 4, 0. Bring down. Bring down the 6. Now I got 36 divided by 6. What number times 6 can get me 36? If you look at your dominoes, here's 36. It's a perfect match. And it's 6 times 6. So the 6, I put it on the roof. And then I just divide it. So now I multiply 6 in blue times the 6 in black. 36. You subtract. Boom, you're done. Now you go on to check your work. So let's say you have your answer right, guys, and you're like, man, I don't know if I did my division right. Well, now you can go ahead and check your work. You were going to get 76 hundredths times 6. Okay? So we're going to multiply it. Again, we're checking our work. This is us to see, man, did I do my division right or not? I don't know. So then we multiply 6 times 6, that's 36. 6 times 7, that's 42. 42 plus 3 is 45. Now it's to move your decimal point. 1, 2, 2 spaces back. So over here, 1, 2, boom. There it is, 4 and 56 hundredths. Right here, that's where the decimal spot was. They match. So we got our quotient correctly. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's try a bigger number. It's the same steps. I could give you guys a huge number. It's still the same steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So let's try this. Here we go. 14 and 4800ths divided by 2. And like I said, guys, give it a shot. Put your answer in. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Who cares? It's the point of learning. But I want you to try. Dribble my super basketball carefully. Remember now, do your dominoes.
We put our answer in the chat.
Yeah.
Put our answer in the chat box when we're done earlier.
Yeah, once you're done, put your answer in the chat box. And those of you that got the last problem right, I'm going to be adding your dojo points. Just remind me to do it before we go to lunch. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Gia. Oh, Gia, I'm going to give you a little hint in the chat box. There's your hint, Gia. All right, thank you, Leo. So we got an answer from Leo, Gabby, Zach, Emma. Emma was the first one. Almost, Alex, almost. I'll tell you what, Alex, you have the tenths and the hundredths right. Okay, so any more final answers? Any more final answers before I submit it? Thank you, Fernanda. All right, so here we go. It's okay, Melanie. At least give me your best answer and then we can check. It happens. We're just not there yet. All right, so here we go. So we put our little satellite dish, and right here, the 1's too small for the 2, right? It's way too small. You can't do it. Again, it's like you saying 1 minus 2. That's impossible. You can't do that. So, oh man. So we got to put a 0 on the roof. Oh, real quick. I should already put my decimal point up. I shoot it up. There it is. So now I borrow. Now it's 14. So what number times 2 can give me 14? Well, the biggest number I have written down my dominoes is 10. So let me try going 2 times 6. That's 12. 2 times 7. That's 14. Hey, I got my perfect match. So right here. So I put a triangle on the 7. I just divided. Check. Now we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply 7 times 2, and that's 14. Check. Subtract. 4 minus 4, 0. Check. 1 minus 1, 0. So now we got to bring down. So let's bring down the 4. Check. All right, so we're ready. So now we have 4 divided by 2. So what number times 2 can give me 4? Right here. 2 times 2. So I put the 2 on the roof. I just divided. Check. Now you multiply. 2 times 2, and that's 4. Check. Then we subtract. 4 minus 4, 0. Then we got to bring down the 8. So now we have What number times 2 can equal 8? Well, that's going to be 4. 2 times 4, so I put the 4 on the root, so I multiply 4 times 2, that's 8. I subtract 8 minus 8, 0. And here is my quotient, 7 and 24 hundredths. 7 and 24 hundredths. So now let me go ahead and check my work. My work, I'm going to get 7 and 24 hundredths times 2. Again, this is us checking. So 2 times 4, that's 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 times 7 is 14. Now here's your decimal point. 1, 2, 2 spaces back. So now 2 spaces to the front. 1, 2. There it is. This answer matches here. So that means our quotient is correct. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So good job, guys. Some of you got 10 dojo points I need to put up right now. Oh no, that's a lot of points. 10 dojo points some of y'all earned. If some of you got it wrong, hey, at least you're trying. That's what we can do. And we'll go ahead and build on it. It does take a while. Remember, division, for some reason or another, division is a tough one for people to get the steps. But once you get the steps down, it's super easy because it's the same ones. Now, if you are having trouble with division, it's because number one, you don't know your basic facts yet. You have to know your basic facts. If you're really good at knowing your basic facts, then when we do division, you see where the numbers come from. You see why I use those numbers. You won't need to waste your time so much using the dominoes because you'll know it already real quick. So that's why, again, we practice on reflex a lot. So let me show you what you guys can do right now before we go to lunch. Or actually, it is already time for lunch in a little bit. But right now, here's what you guys can do to get ahead of the game. Remember on Savas, let me get the student view. Remember on Savas, we have dividing decimals. This is the only thing you have to do for me for homework. Get to reflex, get your green light, imagine math, get one lesson. And when you do your Savas, only do number 2 right here. You'll see 1, 3, 4, and 5. Only do number 2. Don't click send the teacher yet, but just do number 2. Once you're done, you see how this one has a check mark? It'll let you know once you're done, when you have that check mark. If you don't see this check mark, that means you're not done yet. So only click on number 2. Watch the video first. Sorry. Watch the video first. And then on the bottom, you'll see the blue arrow. And then solve this problem right here. 5 and 68 hundredths divided by 8. That's it. Don't worry about this.
I think your screen is frozen.
It's
Yeah, I
frozen
think
again.
if screen is frozen,
Let me try it again.
it's
Thanks for letting me
that
know.
happens.
Can y'all see it now? Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. Let me go back again. So only do number 2. Don't do the other ones. So when you click on number 2, watch the video first. It'll teach you how to do the dividing decimals. And then only do this problem. It's right there for you. You have a pencil and stuff right here to do your work. Don't worry about estimating or finding compatible numbers. Just solve this problem here, like we were doing right now. 5 and 68 hundredths. Let me get my pencil. 5 and 68 hundredths divided by 8. That's all I want to see here. That's all you do for me. And then once you're done, you just click the green check mark here. Okay, guys. So again, that's your homework today. Right now, when we go to lunch, please be here by 11:55. And you know what? Sorry, not 11:55, 12:55. Hold on. Let me do the class dojo. I didn't do it yet. Well, it looks like you guys almost have perfect attendance from my class. We were just missing, I think, Isis and who else? Well, Kayla showed up a little late, but a little late. She showed up big time late.
Isis was in the morning class, sir.
Yeah, I know she was there. It's like, but I'll tell Miss Peña Gabby to count you as present. But yeah, I don't know why Isis wasn't here, but everyone was here. So let me go ahead and give you guys the points there. The lucky one for my class, Emma.
Sir, for me, your screen froze.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, I gave you guys the 1 point. Emma was your lucky one. Right now, I'll look in the chat box again, and the people who got the 2 questions right, you'll be getting 10 dojo points. If you gave me an answer, at least I'll give you 1 dojo point for you, at least you attempting. If I didn't hear an answer from you, you'll be losing dojo points because I need to see you guys participating. So be sure that you can work on your work right now. If you don't have your green light on reflex, be sure you get that too. Get that out of the way, or your Imagine Math lesson. But go have a good lunch. I'll see you guys back here at 12:55.
Bye.